hello to my dear EFL audience world here in South America in Ecuador. My name is Andres Rodriguez. I'm from Guayaquil, the city who is behind me. Okay, hello Guayaquil. All right, my dear teachers. I send my greetings to Peru. Here in Ecuador, we have some people who are followers, teachers. You always come. Thank you so much. All the people who are streaming, who are watching our streaming. Why this topic, dear teachers? The art of diplomacy and public speaking in the virtual world. Okay, so um, let me start first with a simple question. So I would like you to start, okay, with a simple question. Hello, Gabriela. What is communication? With your own words, teachers, what is communication for you? Remember, you can text in your chat. You want to speak, you say hello, and you can tell me, what is for you communication? For example, how do you describe these people in this picture? Okay, Mr. James. All right, so if we pay attention and observe details, these people they are observing each other. So this is a verbal and non-verbal communication. Yes, communication is not usually verbal. So words, language. You can also use mimics. You can also use your eye movements to express something. All right, this is communication, verbal and non-verbal. Okay, so yes, thank you. Interchange of ideas and opinions, yes. In this case, well, the interaction of nonverbal expressions, it's because they are smiling. Maybe they look like they are boyfriend, girlfriend, they are partners. I don't know. Maybe they are husbands, they are having a good time, they're spending time in the forest, in the park, they're having a good time. So their real communication in the world that happens every day is not only verbal, is non-verbal. So have you ever heard the expression that and smile or a sigh express more than 1,000 words? And that's the way that we transmit communication, you know, with our voice, with our intonation, with our sigh, nonverbal communication. More than words, we express with our emotions. If I say, yes, I'm happy. Okay, but I look tired. Maybe I'm not looking at that I'm happy because I'm not expressing myself. My tone of voice says the contrary. I'm not happy. Yes, I said that I am working, but maybe I am not working. Maybe I'm doing something, or maybe I'm not engaged when I'm doing. So I don't feel passion. So I need to demonstrate. I need to demonstrate with emotion, with the power. So I think that's the idea that I want you to share with you. Exactly, Mr. James, sharing information. It's also communication. Okay. So another question for you, my dear partners, it's about what are the components of an effective communication? So let's imagine that in this moment we are sharing information. I'm speaking about public speaking, about communication, but we are interacting, but you are also texting in the chat. That's okay. So what are the components? What are the elements of an effective communication? Okay. Yeah, feel free who you want to say something. Okay. Okay. In this moment, I am transmitting. Okay. I am sending you, okay, information. Who are receiving information? You. Okay. And what is the message? So what is the object in this case? The slides, the information I'm sharing. So those are the elements of an effective communication. No? So the transmission, the channel of the communication, and the people who sends the messages and the ones or one person who receives the information. So those are the elements of an effective communication. Thank you so much, verbal and nonverbal communication. All right, that's great. So here in this chart, we can see here, for example, the sender, you are the sender as a teacher, for example, in your classroom. When you are instructing to your students, when you are explaining something, okay? Encoding. Encoding is not the message itself, no? Encoding are, for example, the how the information is structured. For example, verbal, nonverbal communication with numbers. If you are presenting something, if you are using visual information, or you just are talking, or you are using verbal and nonverbal communication. The message is what you are transmitting. For example, if you are in class with your students and you're teaching science, I don't know, and the topic is about the consequence of the volcanic eruptions, and you're showing an image, a picture about how the volcanoes fires, okay? So the message is the topic, the message, that's the topic. What's the channel? Okay, the channel, yes, exactly, thank you, Anna. Is encoded like the previous message? Yes, is partially correct, yes, because those are the elements, the way, how are they structured, no? For example, you can use words, you can use numbers, you can use visuals, okay? You can use visuals, or you can also use in your English class, for example, Relia. For example, objects, you say, okay, I'm going to teach accessories in class. Okay, this is a perfume, okay? Or you can use different objects, no? So the message in this case is encoding with Relia. So Relia are physical objects or real world objects that you can use in your class, okay? The receiver. The receivers are, who are the receivers in a class? The students, okay? Or not necessarily the students. Maybe the teacher can be a receiver, yes? Remember that the communication is not only one from one place, no? So the other person can also send you information. So the students, for example, when the students talk to you or explain you something with their words, when they say something, you are also a receiver. The teacher turns into a receiver. Yes. So the ideas go and come. Yes. A student and teacher. Yes. Thank you. And you're right. No. And the decoding. Encoding are the structure, no, the way that the messages are receiving. Decoding, it's the way or the mental construction for when the receiver receives, no, receives the information. Okay. For example, let's imagine that I'm showing you the topic. Yeah, I'm illustrating visually the topic. So you are decoding the information before you receive it. For example, what is decoding? Decoding is the transition before you receive the information. So it's a mental process, no? You are decoding. Okay, these are the elements of the information. So you're mentally programming, you're mentally processed, okay? This is like a part of the neurolinguistic, no? So when you are decoding the new information that you are receiving, so you're mentally constructing the new ideas, no? In this case, receive and understand. Thank you, Anna. Anna, you are very active today, so you are a very good receiver. Thank you so much. Okay, so sometimes real communication can be affected with external elements that can affect them. For example, the noise. Okay. For example, let's imagine that you call someone, you're using your cell phone, and that person is in the street, or maybe the person is in an office where many people are talking. So the distraction is also an element that can contribute negatively in order to desperately causes and ineffective information. So the contrary of effective is ineffective information. So the consequences of having ineffective information is that you can confuse. Maybe you don't understand. So that's a big problem when you misconfuse information. All right. All right. So in this moment, we are going to introduce now what is public speaking. Okay. So if you read in this moment, sorry for a moment, please. Okay. So let's imagine in the picture you have here, for example, you can see someone who is talking. Maybe the place looks like it is like a conference. They are in a, I don't know, they are entrepreneurs, they are university, or they are in a company. I don't know. But
Ya.
are public speaking,
Yo te lo grabo también.
okay, please. Okay, we keep in mind that we are in a session, so please check your mute, please. Okay. So the person who is in front of an audience, any audience, students, colleagues, people in general, so must have the ability to transmit information with ability. Okay, so with different skills, no? So you need to combine someone by presenting your ideas, no? You want to impact on other people. What do you need to do? You need to develop public speaking skills, right? So public speaking skill is not only the use of the language, rhetorical language, no, for convincing people, no. It's a diversity of linguistic resources. For example, you need to use verbal, nonverbal communication, okay, in your speech. All right. So here we have a definition: is the act of or process of making speeches in public. For example, the politicians in our countries, for example, when they make their speech in front of the people, no, they need to combine people, no, with different things, with the rhetoric, no. For example, they promise and they say many things that combines people, what people like, that people love to hear. So, and that's an ability for public speaking. All right. So it's something that you need to prepare yourself before you grow in the public speaking. So nobody who develops these speaking skills are able to combine or become an influencer, okay, a positive influencer, because you can also be a negative influencer. But in this case, we are focusing on positive influence as public speaking, okay? So it's necessary for me to clarify that part, because in public speaking, we can use the term influence in general, but particularly we are considering as a positive influence. All right? So now we turn into the tips for improving your speaking skills. So why is necessary developing your speaking skills in order to become an excellent communicator? So when you observe, for example, many people, for example, in a conference, in an academic conference, here in these illustrations, we can see an ex-president of the United States, Mr. Obama. No, Obama was an excellent skillful. No, so as a rhetorical person, so he was an excellent communicator. Okay, nowadays I think he's working more on academic context. When he retired from when he left the politics now. So now in this example, for example, we can focus on the art of effective oral communication with an audience. As I said before, it's necessary to develop some skills. No, for example, you need to know your audience, and you need to develop your self-confidence. Okay, why your self-confidence? Because you need to trust yourself. You need to believe that you are the person. If you are in front of other people, it's because you can influence them. So you need to recognize and accept that part. Okay. So if you feel afraid of communicating and engaging other people, your verbal communication or your facial expressions will demonstrate others that you are not the person who is going to transmit them what they want to hear. Maybe you feel afraid, maybe you are embarrassed, maybe you don't know the topic, or simply you don't have the public speaking skills. So you need to develop that art. Okay, as you can see, it's an art. Okay, you need to love it. You need to engage other people. You need to make that your speech is concise, and at the same time that you can embrace other people's attention, that what you say, that they can hear you, that they can decode your message. So that's the art of effective oral communication, right? So in the past, if we go back to the past, we are going to go back to thousands of years ago. For example, in the old Greece, in Europe, for example, one of the famous role models of the philosophers, for example, Aristotle. Once Aristotle says to their students when they were studying, or they were simply talking in the university, in the alma mater. So Aristotle said to the students, invite the students to go out, okay, and they sit in circles, and they were discussing and talking different topics about real world life topics. For example, they were talking about politics. They were talking about the way people live. Okay, they were talking about influence or different things. Study, life, etc. So Aristotle said to their students, the people and their followers, that the most important thing in communication is the way that you are transmitting your message. Because let's imagine that you are in a group of students. So you receive that interaction, but it's not only to receive that interaction, it's the way that you encode that information, and also you can ask questions. Okay, you can ask different questions. So questioning is an ability for smart people. So do you remember when you study, for example, philosophy, in the university? Philosophy is a science that describe and study all the phenomena about the life, or the description, the effects of life, or how these problems can occur. So the positive side of questioning is that you can see pros and cons in different sides of the problems, or the solutions maybe. So nothing is black, nothing is totally white. So there are some percentage of positive and negative things. So that's what Aristotle says. Combines people with rhetoric, and also receive the students' feedback with questions. Okay, so but in order to reach or to achieve that objective, so you need to empathize with other people. You need to connect, truthfulness. You need to have human connection, verbal messages, okay, and non-verbal information. So verbal and non-verbal communication they need to work together. Because if you say that you are happy, for example, but you don't demonstrate that you are happy, or you say something, but you don't demonstrate that you love something, maybe your message will not be encoded by other people, or they simply ignore you. So that's why, as I mentioned before, verbal and nonverbal communication are important. They fix together. No, so Aristotle in the past was a figure, but we have also more obviously ancient Greek philosophers that can influence, and we can follow them, and they are, and we can read them in different books. No, so and we can learn more about it. Another example of another public speaker was Winston Churchill. No, this is in Europe. No, in the Great Britain. No, in England. No, for example, Winston Churchill was a politician. As we said before, the politicians are people who needs to develop the art of public speaking because they are influentials. No, they need to develop their rhetorical and the public speaking skills in order to communicate their ideas, no, to influence, no, because they need that people believe, they trust, no, what they say, no. For example, not only in our countries, it's around the world. So we need to develop these skills. It's not only what you say, it's the way you say, and you need to prove it with also the art, developing the art of public speaking. So you need to know what to say, how to introduce the topic, what are the elements of the topic that you are going to talk about it, and at the end you need to give a conclusion about it. So you need to know, you need to prepare mentally, and then you elaborate your plan for speaking in front of your audience, no, of your target audience in this case. Okay, so another example is Margaret Thatcher, no? Okay, maybe you heard about her, that maybe she was a little the dictatorship or things like that as a politician, but we're going to leave behind that part. We're going to focus on the public speaker part, no, that is the one that we are concerning now. So Margaret Thatcher is one of the role model public speakers. No? So she was a very energetic, a passionate woman, okay? And in front of her audience, she was transmitting different ideas, messages, and she was considered empowered woman, no? In order to talk about different things, no? Thank you so much, Inga. Great, thanks for coming. And so Margaret Thatcher, so influence, no, in that time, in that century in her country. Every nation, every country has their public speakers. Public speakers are not only politicians. Remember that people in general, no, people who develop their lifelong skills and also the art of public speaking, they can be public speakers too. But the tips for becoming a public speaker is that you need to develop their skills. No, so this is a transition. This is a transition when before you become a public speaker. So you can develop first your academic linguistic skills. If you're the person that you consider that you can influence positively in other people, let's go. I invite you to develop those skills, because in this moment, in this world, it's very important to transmit the message. You are teachers, we are teachers, sorry. So it's necessary that we need to develop those public skills, okay? Thank you so much. We continue. Okay, we talked about Obama a moment ago. All right, so in brief, what are the qualities that you need to develop as a public speaker? So you need to study, you need to prepare, you need to grow first. So you can read information, you can read some books. And also you can watch some audiolingual books. So in this moment with the technology, thanks to the technology that we can go through the browsers and we can get information for free, or we can get information from different resources, digital resources, no? For example, universities, websites that they can offer service, okay? Or there are some people, okay, that they can help us. Now we can follow them and they can share with us those information, but we need to prepare first, no? I highly recommend you to take courses, okay? Why? When you take courses, you don't only learn, no? You don't learn by learning. You learn, but at the same time, you prove yourself that you academically, you can get a level, no, of completion hours, and you can also get a certificate, no? And the certificate legally accepted in your country can contribute to your personal curriculum. So it can also be good, all right? So another thing is to practice, to convey unique messages and ideas. For example, you can start practicing this, for example, in your class with your students or with your group of colleagues, no? When you're preparing debating ideas, no? So, or just simply transmitting ideas, no? Conveying ideas, no? So you're preparing your arguments in pros and cons, and then you will see how to communicate much better, no? No matter what positive or negative result you have until the end. So what I mean is, then don't focus on if you win or lose the debate. No, focus on your speech. Focus on your speech. No, so remember that we are preparing for public speakers, and that when we train, we are experienced. Okay, sometimes we will be good, sometimes we will fail, but that's normal. We take it easy. Okay, don't feel frustrated if you once fail. Okay, it happens. It can happen. So try to see the truth, try to learn that lesson, try to learn from that mistake, and go on. Give to the next side, go to the next level. Okay, so try to think in that way, powerful. Okay, be powerful in your mind. So don't see the problems, don't see the mistakes as a limitation. Go ahead, be non-stoppable. Okay, if you change your mindset in that way, you will learn a lot. And that's the idea that of developing this art of public speaking. Okay, so experiencing, training. Okay, when you go ahead, you become non-stoppable, dear teachers. So make it action, make it happen. So that's the third point when you provide actionable content. So go to your audience, start talking, introducing the topic that you are going to transmit, okay, and talk to your audience, no? Convey your message and build the truthfulness, no? The thing that I mentioned you before. All right, thank you. And you can also become a good storyteller, no? This is another quality that you can, no? So storytellers are the ones that can tell you an anecdote, or you can they can also transmit you new ideas. All right, so verbal and nonverbal communication. So you need to walk around the place where you are, connect with your audience, talk to each other. So never imagine that
Acá si anotan y acá tienen que pagar, los he dicho, ¿no? Pues quiero saber.
Thank you so much. Okay, so never imagine that someone can ignore you, or don't assume that someone who knows more about you, that person cannot learn from you, or you can learn from someone. So try to be wiser, no? And part of being wiser is being empathetic with other people, and also academically humble, because during the speech, there can be a group of people that can facilitate exchange idea with us. It can happen. So be ready in your audience, there are smart people that they can also contribute and effectively. If someone, I don't know, maybe corrects you in public or says something, or maybe debate an idea, don't take it personal. Okay, don't look at that person as an enemy, or the person that wants to fall down your speech. No, simply that person has their own mental construction. Okay, their constructive idea, take it as a new idea that person can contribute to your speech. Different smart people, they can also contribute to your ideas. Look at people that they think differently to you as a smart people that can also contribute and make progress in your speech. And always say thank you to that person. Say thank you, because that person can uh, helping you to see your topic in another side that you didn't see before. Okay, so another quality is simplify complex concepts. Okay, so there are some ideas that are abstract. Okay, there are ideas that are difficult to decode, no, to understand, because they are abstract. For example, when we are not talking about tangible things, we're talking about intangible things, no. So we need to demonstrate those ideas with exchanging with other people, or maybe telling an anecdote. Okay, so metaphors or things like that. On when you are citing other public speakers or philosophers, I don't know, but simplify, no? So be precise, be simple and wiser when you express those ideas. Okay, another topic is, another quality is share ideas. Okay, so I like this part because they say they share instead of sell, no? Yeah, and I'm not talking about advertisement, merchandising, publishing. No, no, no. I'm talking about your what you are doing. No, even though it's not a business. No, even though it's not something that you are um doing as a for receiving monetary incomes. No, no, no. I'm talking about verbal negotiation. So when you are transmitting a message, when you're transmitting your ideas, what is rewarding? What that people understand, okay, what you are talking, and also that people construct their or build their own encoding. So that's the idea of public speaking, no? Remember something, no? Not all people in your community or in your audience, maybe uh, they can see in the same way that you are sharing your idea. Okay, they can believe, or they can take the best for you, or they can only follow in you just because the topic that they consider they are very interested, and also compare your speech with other public speakers. And finally, they say, okay, what Andres said, that part is important. What the other public speaker, that's important. So at the end, the audience will select, okay, selective audience. No? So don't take it personal when people compare you. If people compares you, that's because they're looking what is the best for them, the information, not you, not the person. Okay, so as a public speaker, we need to develop personal skills, no, to be a better person too. Okay, we don't take personal things. Okay, all right. Finally, we have be open to questions. No, remember that in our speech, there will be many people that they they're curious, or they want to know more about the things that you're talking, or maybe they had been in other scenarios that they know that topic and they want to debate with you. So be open to hear those ideas that they can be contrary to the ones that you are uh, sharing, no? So don't feel like someone is piecing you up. Feel that it's also a contribution about the topic, no? So feel that that's part of also of your speech, but every person has their own mental construction and they want to um, present their ideas in that way. So in brief, those are the ideas of public speaking. And well, so I'm sharing with you with this part. Okay, thank you. Well, this literally, and I can humbly share with you this part because it can be it can be worthy for me, but it doesn't mean that it's something that it can work for everybody. So if you consider that it can successfully work for you or you can use it, you can do it. Okay. For example, I recommend you to record yourself. Okay. Record yourself. Many people hate videos. Many people hate seeing the no, I hate videos. No, don't focus on you. Focus on your skills. Look at you, observe you. If you're using drills, if you're repeating words, if you're not developing other ideas, okay? So try to do it, all right? So record yourself once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. The number of things that you consider they are necessary for you to observe
No
your
manejen el
learn.
celular, ¿eh?
I always try to
Está-
record. I always try to record myself. I used to record myself. I'm still doing because I always compare myself with my last version, and I need to improve. I always want to improve. Yes. So oratory, for example, I recommend you to take oratory courses. I did one, a basic. Now I'm going to move to an intermediate. Okay. And master classes will benefit you if you want to master your public speaking skill. You need to invest your time too. That's not only the passion, that's not only your natural talent. You need to exploit, you need to potentialize, okay? You need to improve, to grow in other areas, no? To support your public speaking, all right? So take deep breaths. No, this is the natural breath that you're taking. So you need to feel relaxed, practice your relaxation. Many people, some experts recommend that you need to practice meditation, mindset. Okay, take deep breaths. No? So in the morning, in the afternoon, try to do it. Practice the oriented meditation. No? So in that way, you will feel relaxed. No? So you need to embrace your potential with your mind, with your heart. So, and you need to trust yourself. You need to build your own confidence. So remember that you are exposed. You will be exposed to an audience. You see people's faces. You see smiles. You see that people can maybe tell you thank you. Okay, but you don't. Sometimes we're exposed to the energy. So we need to protect ourselves with our own synergy, with our own energy. So that's why it's important to practice meditation or deep breaths. No, rate yourself. Rate yourself is scoring yourself. No, but don't be over exigent with yourself. No, so set up limits. Okay, set up objectives every time. Go slowly. Go slowly, because if you have higher expectations, you will feel frustrated. Okay, don't expect that in a month you will become like Winston Churchill, like Obama, or like Aristotle. No, it takes time. It's sacrificing, but you need to do it. You can do it. But rate yourself and prize yourself. No, congratulate your small efforts. Hey, go ahead. You can do it. So you're good. Even though it's a very small, a little bit effort you have improved, be yourself, prize yourself, because you're spending time on that. So you deserve, okay? You deserve pricing yourself, okay? Observe a speaker. Observe a speaker is, so naturally, for example, if we want to improve our natural skills, we need to follow other people, role models, no? For example, my role models, for example, Aristotle, Obama, I love Winston Churchill. At present, we also have some role models that people can also help us for improving our public speaking skills. You can select the ones that you consider. No, I have mine, but you can use the ones you select. Okay, so observe all the details: how they walk, how they smile, how they look at people, what words they say, how they introduce, if they speak faster, if they take deep breaths. Okay, observe naturally. Take your notes if you want it, and then you try to imitate. Okay, do it naturally. Okay, don't force yourself to act as they do. Yes, only take the things that you consider that you can adapt to your inner process. All right. For example, if you don't want to, I don't know, to change everything, just take little changes, small changes, and then you will be your results in your process. Invite other colleagues or your students or people in your family or your friends, no, for feedback, no. Most people hate when someone else say, okay, you need to improve this, don't do this, don't hesitate, stand in that way, or don't repeat those words, etc. No, so, but it's necessary. It's need to receive the workshop. Okay, don't take it personal. It's not a personal attack. It's something that you need to improve. Okay, it's something that you need to improve. Okay, so the genius, the experts, or the great and powerful public speakers, they made mistakes, but they need in favor that some people supported with their feedback. So it's necessary that we receive feedback. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Juanita. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for that, for your comments. Okay, so not necessarily a leader. We're talking in academic context, no, as teachers we are. Not necessarily a leader is the president of the country. Not necessarily is a politician or a community leader. No, we are leaders. We're natural leaders as teachers. Okay, for example, because we can influence positively or negatively too if our acts, if our habits are not good for our students. So we can influence. Be cautious and take care of your actions. So what you say, prove with your actions. Okay, so your students are your followers. The students are observing you all the time. If you observe you say to the student, don't do that, don't be this, but you are in the same way with other people, your students don't respect you. So as leader, you need to be coherent. So as public speaker, you are a leader too. So in other words, practice what you pray. Practice what you pray. So be coherent. Okay, be coherent. The person that the people are they're watching in front of, the people that are advocating you. So be the same person, the natural person in private too. When they find you in a place, in a restaurant, hello, how are you? Be natural. Okay, be natural. Be friendly with them. Okay, so in that, because you never know if that connection, that the connection that you are building with other people will be forever. Maybe you're not going to be a public speaker your entire life, or maybe you are not going to work in the same position all the time, your time life. So life changes, cycles, and then you will see other people. And if you didn't build empathy, happiness with them, so they will not remember what you say. The way that they will remember you in the way you were with them. So that's very important. Okay. Thank you so much, Inga. All right. Nowadays, social media plays an important role in effective communication. Okay, this is the real world. Okay, the real world technology has implemented a diversity of social medias, no? And the people who follow you, or they are looking for role models, so that they want to learn from other people, they use the social media. And there are many resources that can support you. For example, videos, lives, streamings, Zoom video conferences, recording video conference that you can upload it in YouTube or any other, or Facebook, or Twitter, or any other, Instagram, etc. No? So as educators, if we are transmitting knowledge, so if we're instructing, okay, if we are instructing other people, so how we can communicate with people, with the social medias, with the resources that we have. If you are an influencer, you are certain specific medias, especially the massive ones, no, where there are many people, but we need to be very cautious and respect the way that we can interact with other people, no, because as your followers, or the people that follow you, or they try to know more about what you are sharing. If they notice that you are not only communicating, or you are not coherent, so they can leave you. So, and that's not coherent for you. So the social media is part of the word. Someone says social media is a different word. Well, I partially disagree with that, because I consider social media is part of our world, because we can meet many people by social media, and they contribute us in our development, and our different areas of our lives. No? So that's part of our lives. Okay. Okay, now we have how effective communication in social media. How can we influencing other people? No? So as we said before, the impact, the way that we inspire other people, or the words we use in favor of others, we need to be open to many people who are, no? This is a keyword, impact. Okay, don't use social media to impress people. Use it for impact people's lives, no? So there's a big difference between impressing people, no? So in a real world, no? In a real world, when we know that the world has different perspective, no? We know that if you're an influencer, you're not a millionaire. You're presenting, for example, that you have a car, or you have a big house, a big mansion, or you're in the sea, you are sailing in a boat. So that's impressive. Okay, you are showing something, but you are not helping other people. So you need to impact other people, no? So that's a difference between impacting and impressing. What do you prefer? You prefer impacting people, or you prefer impressing people? So be careful with that. No, if we are teachers, in my opinion, I believe that we need to impact people. We need to take care more on the way that we transmit things. No, so in social medias. No, so be careful with that. The last part of this intervention is about target your audience is the key. Target your audience, no? For example, what is our audience? Our students, no? If you are a language instructor, if you're teaching English, okay? So you need to focus on the people. Imagine that you are instructing, giving private classes. So target your audience is that you're customizing people who wants to be your potential clients or the people who are eager to learn English. Now, so there are some posters or advertisement that you can advertise in general, no? But you need to customize, especially for the audience, the people who obviously wants to learn English, no? No in general, because no everybody cares about what you're doing. So that's a very sad truth, but that's true. So there are some social medias like Facebook, that Instagram, that benefit you if you post. Okay, you need to pay something, you need to monetize something, but your advertise will be seen by thousand or hundreds of people, but they are your potential clients. So maybe they will text you, maybe they will communicate with you, they will send you a private message in your, I don't know, if you have a business account, they can write to your community manager, or they can write a text into your WhatsApp, etc. So you are targeting your audience. Now, targeting your audience is seeking or looking for your potential clients, no? Or the people that you want simply to show your service or your product. So that's target your audience. Okay, so I'm sharing with you the resources. My dear partners, it was a pleasure for me to present this topic, the art of public speaking. My name is Andres Rodriguez. I'm from Guayaquil, Ecuador. I'm an EFL teacher, English coach, language instructor. So it's a privilege for me to announce you that we collaborate with these free webinars. I hope you can enjoy it. And if you have some questions about this topic, I will be open to hear you. You can follow me on YouTube, okay, and on Facebook. You know, let me tell you something about that. For next webinars, we are going to we are uploading some webinars in this website, no, in Facebook. No, we have Andres Rodriguez, and here we have some presentations, some online webinars that we have been doing for 2 years ago. No, so let's imagine if we are going to. I invite you to be part of our community. No, so because we are growing up, and the idea is to help more and more teachers, not only in my country, Ecuador, in many places and around the world. Thank you so much. And if you have some questions, I'm open to hear you. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Anna. Okay. I invite you, teachers, in this moment, if you have your email, please, you can write your email in the chat, and I will send you more information of our next webinars. Now, so in this moment, please, if you can write your emails for invite you for the next webinar. Next Saturday, we have another presenter, and the topic will be very interesting. Okay, thank you so much, Anna. Okay, I can read your emails. Okay, well, dear teachers, in this moment, I invite you to open your cameras. We're going to have a picture. We're going to have the last picture. So I invite you to open your cameras, please. Okay, this is the last picture of our presentation. Thanks for coming. Okay, please. we're gonna have we're gonna have a picture. Okay, hello, Miss Maria. Nice to see you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. Hello, Carlos. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Anna. Nice to see you too. You're from Peru, yes?
Hello, hello.
Okay, well, I'm going to take the picture, okay? Show me your best smile. Thank you so much, dear friends. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mancilla. Mr. Mancilla, where are you from, Luis?
I am from Peru, Arequipa, Peru, Mr.
Okay, Arequipa, I have some teachers that follow us. Everybody's Arequipa. Sonia, where are you from?
I am from Jaén, Peru.
Ah,
Nice to meet you.
thank you so much. My dear teacher, have a nice weekend and we are going to keep in touch, okay? See you next time, okay? Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
See you.
Same
Thank
to
you.
you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay, goodbye, goodbye.
Have
Thank
a nice
you.
day.